Most people think productivity is about doing more, faster, or longer. They chase the endless to-do list, believing that being busy equals being productive. But here's the truth. Real productivity isn't about doing more, it's about focusing on the right things, at the right time, in the right way. The habits that create extraordinary results are often invisible. They don't show up in Instagram posts. They don't come with flashy gadgets, and they certainly aren't taught in school. Yet these are the habits that separate those who reach their goals from those who are stuck in the loop of busyness. First, start with clarity. Most people begin their day reacting to what's urgent, rather than acting on what's important. Knowing your priority, your why, behind every task transforms your actions from mechanical to meaningful. Second, embrace the power of focus. Distractions are everywhere. Phones, emails, endless notifications. But productivity requires saying no to noise. Protect your time as if it were gold, because it is. The ability to focus on one meaningful task is far more valuable than scattered effort across 10 small ones. Third, master your energy, not just your time. Productivity isn't a matter of hours. It's about when you have the mental, emotional, and physical energy to perform at your best. Eat well, sleep well, and move your body. Those are the invisible investments that compound results over time. Fourth, adopt reflection as a daily habit. Most people move from task to task without ever stopping to measure their progress or learn from their mistakes. Taking 5 minutes at the end of each day to reflect, adjust, and plan multiplies your effectiveness dramatically. Fifth, automate and delegate what doesn't require your unique input. Too many people get stuck doing repetitive work that drains them of energy for high-impact tasks. The smart person focuses their brainpower where it matters most. Finally, embrace consistency over motivation. Motivation is fleeting, habits compound, small actions repeated daily build momentum that lasts far beyond a single burst of inspiration. It's not about heroic effort, it's about sustainable, disciplined action. Productivity isn't found in doing everything, it's found in doing the right things consistently. Ignore these habits and you'll remain in the 99%. Embrace them, and you'll step into a life where your efforts truly matter, where your time works for you, not against you. You said, give me a speech and 6 key points of this speech: productivity, habits that 99% of people ignore. In Simon Sinek style, but not mention him, ChatGPT said, here's a motivational speech in the style of Simon Sinek, focusing on mindset, purpose, and practical guidance, along with 6 key points. Speech: productivity habits that 99% of people ignore. Most people think productivity is about doing more, faster, or longer. They chase the endless to-do list, believing that being busy equals being productive. But here's the truth. Real productivity isn't about doing more, it's about focusing on the right things, at the right time, in the right way. The habits that create extraordinary results are often invisible. They don't show up in Instagram posts, they don't come with flashy gadgets, and they certainly aren't taught in school. Yet, these are the habits that separate those who reach their goals from those who are stuck in the loop of busyness. First, start with clarity. Most people begin their day reacting to what's urgent, rather than acting on what's important. Knowing your priority, your why, behind every task, transforms your actions from mechanical to meaningful. Second, embrace the power of focus. Distractions are everywhere. Phones, emails, endless notifications. But productivity requires saying no to noise. Protect your time as if it were gold, because it is. The ability to focus on one meaningful task is far more valuable than scattered effort across 10 small ones. Third, master your energy, not just your time. Productivity isn't a matter of hours. It's about when you have the mental, emotional, and physical energy to perform at your best. Eat well, sleep well, and move your body. Those are the invisible investments that compound results over time. Fourth, adopt reflection as a daily habit. Most people move from task to task without ever stopping to measure their progress or learn from their mistakes. Taking 5 minutes at the end of each day to reflect, adjust, and plan multiplies your effectiveness dramatically. Fifth, automate and delegate what doesn't require your unique input. Too many people get stuck doing repetitive work that drains them of energy for high-impact tasks. The smart person focuses their brain power where it matters most. Finally, embrace consistency over motivation. Motivation is fleeting, habits compound. Small actions, repeated daily, build momentum that lasts far beyond a single burst of inspiration. It's not about heroic effort. It's about sustainable, disciplined action. Productivity isn't found in doing everything. It's found in doing the right things consistently. Ignore these habits, and you'll remain in the 99%. Embrace them, and you'll step into a life where your efforts truly matter, where your time works for you, not against you. 6 key points: clarity over busyness. Focus on what's truly important, not just what feels urgent. Protect your focus, minimize distractions to work on one meaningful task at a time. Energy management. Productivity depends on your mental, physical, and emotional energy. Daily reflection. Review progress, adjust plans, and learn from mistakes consistently. Automate and delegate. Spend your energy on high-impact tasks, not repetitive work. Consistency beats motivation small. Repeated actions create lasting results. If you want, I can also craft a Urdu version of this speech for your Spark Rise channel with a strong emotional delivery style that hooks viewers. That version would flow naturally like a motivational talk and fit a 5-6 minute video. Do you want me to do that? You said. Clarity over busyness. Focus on what's truly important, not just what feels urgent. Expend it in 500 words without subheading and conclusions. ChatGPT said, here's a 500-word expansion of that key point in a motivational, Simon Sinek-style tone without subheadings or conclusions. Most people live their lives chasing the urgent instead of the important. From the moment we wake up, we are bombarded with notifications, emails, and messages that demand our attention. It feels like being busy is a sign of progress, but busyness is not the same as productivity. Being busy is filling time with activity. Being productive is making time count. The difference lies in clarity. When you have clarity, every action you take is intentional. Every decision aligns with your bigger purpose and long-term goals. Without clarity, you simply react to the world around you, and you wake up one day realizing that time has passed, but your life hasn't moved forward in meaningful ways. The world rewards those who focus, who know exactly what matters, and who direct their energy toward what will make the greatest impact. When you focus on what is truly important, you are no longer a slave to distractions. You stop answering every ping and every call because you understand that not everything deserves your attention. You stop filling your calendar with meetings that don't serve your purpose because you realize that your time is finite. Clarity allows you to see the difference between urgency and significance. Urgency often comes with noise, pressure, and emotion. It screams for immediate attention, but it rarely contributes to your long-term vision. Significance, on the other hand, is quieter but infinitely more powerful. It is the work that moves you forward, the decisions that shape your future, the actions that create real value. When you focus on the important, you become intentional with your energy, your attention, and your choices. You learn to say no without guilt and yes with conviction. Every task you take on becomes a deliberate step toward your goal rather than a reaction to circumstance. Clarity over busyness also means planning your life with purpose. It is about knowing what you want your days to look like, how you want your work to impact others, and how you want your personal growth to unfold. It is about prioritizing tasks that matter and letting go of those that do not. People who achieve extraordinary results are not the ones who work longer hours or juggle more responsibilities. They are the ones who know exactly what matters and dedicate themselves to it relentlessly. The clarity to distinguish between what is urgent and what is important is a skill, and like any skill, it must be practiced. It requires reflection, self-awareness, and courage to focus when the world demands distraction. But once you embrace it, your life transforms, every day becomes purposeful, every decision aligns with your vision, every action moves you forward, and suddenly, busyness fades, replaced by the power of intentional, focused, and meaningful work in today's world. Distractions are everywhere, and most people underestimate their power. Our phones buzz constantly, emails pile up, notifications scream for attention, and social media keeps us scrolling endlessly. We have become a generation that believes multitasking is a skill, but in reality, it is the enemy of meaningful work. Protecting your focus is not just about avoiding distractions. It is about reclaiming your mind, your time, and your potential. Focus is a muscle, and like any muscle, it grows stronger with practice and weakens when neglected. When you protect your focus, you give yourself the opportunity to dive deep into the work that truly matters, to think creatively, to problem, solve, and to produce results that are significant. One meaningful task accomplished with full attention is worth more than 10 half-finished tasks scattered across your day. The world is full of noise, but clarity of purpose demands silence in the right places. To protect your focus, you must first understand what deserves your attention and what does not. Not every email, call, or meeting contributes to your goals. Not every urgent request is actually important. When you create boundaries around your time, you create space for your mind to engage fully with the work that matters. This may mean turning off notifications, closing unnecessary tabs, or setting aside specific blocks of time for deep work. It may feel uncomfortable at first because the world is designed to keep you distracted, but discomfort is the price of excellence. Focus requires discipline, but the rewards are immense. When you allow yourself to concentrate on one meaningful task, you enter a state of flow where productivity feels effortless, creativity flourishes, and results compound. The ability to protect your focus is also a statement about respect for yourself, for your work, and for your goal. It says that you value your time enough to guard it, that you are committed to producing work of quality rather than quantity, and that you understand the long-term power of sustained attention. The truth is, distractions are tempting because they offer instant gratification, but meaningful progress requires patience and persistence. The moment you dedicate yourself to protecting your focus, you reclaim control over your day and over your life. Tasks that once seemed overwhelming become manageable, ideas that were scattered become coherent, and your energy is channeled toward what truly matters. Every interruption you avoid is a small victory. Every hour of uninterrupted work compounds into results, and every time you choose focus over distraction, you reinforce the habit that leads to extraordinary achievement. Protecting your focus is not a one-time action. It is a daily practice, a conscious choice, and a commitment to your future. Those who master it do not just accomplish more, they accomplish what counts, and in doing so, they create lives of purpose, impact, and fulfillment. Many people think productivity is about time management, but the truth is that time alone does not create results. You can have hours upon hours in a day, but if your energy is depleted, those hours are wasted. Productivity depends on your mental, physical, and emotional energy. It is not about working longer. It is about working smarter and with vitality. Mental energy is the clarity and focus you bring to each task. When your mind is sharp, decisions are easier, problem solving is faster, and creativity flows. But mental energy is fragile. Constant distractions, information overload, and reactive work drain it quickly. Protecting your mental energy means creating space to think deeply, to plan strategically, and to prioritize tasks that truly matter. Physical energy is the fuel that powers your body and keeps you capable of sustained work. Without proper sleep, nutrition, and movement, even the simplest tasks feel exhausting. The people who achieve extraordinary results understand that their bodies are their most valuable asset. They treat it with respect, knowing that energy is a resource that must be nurtured. Emotional energy is just as important, though often overlooked. Your emotions drive motivation, resilience, and engagement. Negative emotions like stress, anger, or frustration drain your energy faster than anything else. Learning to manage your emotions, to remain calm under pressure, and to cultivate positivity is not soft advice. It is essential for high performance. Energy management is about recognizing that your time is only as valuable as the energy you bring to it. You cannot substitute exhaustion with longer hours or sheer willpower. You must invest in yourself before you can invest in your work. This means prioritizing rest when needed, setting boundaries to protect your focus, and engaging in activities that recharge you mentally, physically, and emotionally. Energy management also requires awareness of your natural rhythms. Some people are most alert in the morning, others in the afternoon or evening. Aligning your most important work with your peak energy periods multiplies your effectiveness. Productivity is not about grinding through tasks blindly. It is about creating sustainable habits that allow you to perform at your best consistently. The people who reach their goals understand that every action, every decision, and every interaction consumes energy. When you manage that energy well, you accomplish more in less time and with less stress. When you neglect it, even simple tasks become draining, mistakes increase, and momentum slows. Energy management is the hidden lever behind extraordinary productivity. It is the quiet, invisible habit that separates those who merely survive from those who thrive. When you take control of your energy, you take control of your results, your impact, and ultimately, your life. It is not a one-time effort. It is a daily practice of listening to your body, mind, and heart, and making choices that allow you to show up fully every single day. Most people move through their days on autopilot, reacting to events as they happen without ever pausing to evaluate or learn. They cross tasks off their to-do list, check emails, attend meetings, and call it a day. But the truth is that this kind of busyness rarely leads to growth. Daily reflection is the practice that turns ordinary effort into extraordinary results. It is the habit of stepping back from the chaos to examine your actions, understand what worked, and adjust what did not. When you reflect, you give yourself the opportunity to see patterns, recognize mistakes before they compound, and celebrate the progress you might otherwise overlook. Reflection is not about dwelling on failure or obsessing over perfection. It is about gaining clarity, insight, and direction. It is the quiet moment where learning meets action. Reviewing your progress every day allows you to measure how aligned your actions are with your goals. You begin to notice whether the tasks consuming your time are the ones that truly matter, or if you have been distracted by low-impact activities. This awareness is powerful because it allows you to course correct before small missteps turn into significant setbacks. Daily reflection also creates accountability. When you take the time to honestly evaluate what you did and how you did it, you hold yourself responsible not to someone else, but to your own standards. It builds self-discipline and fosters a sense of ownership over your life and results. Learning from mistakes becomes natural when reflection is a habit. Everyone makes errors, but most people repeat them because they never stop to analyze why they happen. Reflection forces you to ask the difficult questions. What could I have done differently? Where did I waste energy? What decision would have produced a better outcome? Over time, these small adjustments compound into remarkable growth. Reflection is also an opportunity to recognize and reinforce what is working, celebrating small wins, acknowledging progress, and understanding what strategies yield results boosts motivation and confidence. It transforms daily effort from a mechanical routine into a conscious, intentional journey toward excellence. The practice does not need to be complicated or time-consuming. Even 5 to 10 minutes at the end of each day can create a profound impact. Journaling, mental review, or even a quiet conversation with yourself can highlight insights that shape tomorrow's actions. When reflection becomes part of your daily rhythm, your decisions improve, your focus sharpens, and your results multiply. It is the bridge between action and learning, between effort and mastery, and between aspiration and achievement. Those who cultivate this habit do not simply work, they grow, they adapt, and they move closer to their goals each day. Daily reflection turns ordinary routines into powerful, deliberate steps towards success, ensuring that every day builds momentum and purpose. Many people waste countless hours on repetitive tasks that do not require their unique skills or attention. They respond to routine emails, organize spreadsheets, handle minor requests, or perform small operational chores themselves, believing that doing it all is a mark of diligence or control. The truth is that every minute spent on low-impact work is a minute stolen from the tasks that truly matter, those that move your goals forward, create value, or require your unique abilities. Automating and delegating is not about being lazy. It is about being strategic. It is about recognizing where your energy and attention can create the most impact and ensuring that you are focused there. Automation allows you to use technology and systems to handle repetitive work without constant supervision. From simple tools that schedule your meetings, organize your emails, or manage recurring tasks, to more complex systems that streamline business processes, automation frees mental space for creativity, strategy, and problem solving. It turns hours of repetitive work into minutes, and minutes into hours of focused action on high-value tasks. Delegation is equally powerful. Many people hesitate to delegate because they believe no one can do it as well as they can. But the reality is that success does not require perfection in everything. It requires leverage. By assigning tasks to the right people, you multiply your impact. Delegation allows you to focus on decisions, initiatives, and actions that require your expertise, while empowering others to contribute and grow. It is not abdication. It is leadership and strategy. Learning to automate and delegate requires clarity about what is essential. You must understand your core responsibilities, the tasks that require your unique skill set, and the work that only you can do. Everything else is a candidate for automation or delegation. This mindset is liberating because it removes the illusion that you must do it all to succeed. Instead, success becomes a function of focus and leverage, not sheer effort. When you automate and delegate effectively, your productivity multiplies. You begin to accomplish more in less time, reduce stress, and preserve your energy for high-impact work. Your creativity is no longer stifled by mundane tasks, and your decisions are sharper because your mind is free from clutter. Over time, this practice builds momentum and influence. People notice when you consistently deliver results, innovate, and focus on what matters, while routine tasks are seamlessly handled by systems and teams. Automating and delegating also fosters growth in those around you. By trusting others with responsibility and giving them the tools to succeed, you create an environment where talent thrives and results multiply. High achievers understand that their time and energy are their most valuable resources. Protecting them by automating repetitive work and delegating effectively is not optional. It is essential. This is how ordinary effort transforms into extraordinary outcomes, and how focused action, multiplied by systems and teams, becomes unstoppable progress. Motivation is fleeting. It comes and goes like a wave, sometimes lifting you high, and other times leaving you stranded and unproductive. Many people wait for the perfect moment, the spark of inspiration, or the emotional surge that pushes them into action. The problem is that waiting for motivation is waiting for luck, and luck rarely delivers results. What separates those who achieve extraordinary success from those who only dream about it is not motivation. It is consistency. Small, repeated actions taken day after day compound into results that far outweigh any single burst of effort. Consistency is the invisible engine behind mastery, growth, and achievement. It is not glamorous, and it rarely feels urgent, but it is relentless and unstoppable. Every day, small actions create habits. Habits shape character. Character shapes outcomes. This chain is powerful because it does not rely on emotion or circumstance. It relies on choice and discipline. You may not feel like exercising, learning, or working on a project today, but showing up anyway strengthens your momentum. Motivation may fluctuate, but consistency builds trust with yourself. It proves that you can rely on your own commitment, that your actions are not dependent on fleeting feelings, and that you are capable of following through regardless of external conditions. The power of small, repeated actions is exponential. A single hour of focused work done every day may seem insignificant at first, but over weeks and months it compounds into mastery, progress, and achievement. The key is not to attempt perfection or heroic effort in a single moment. The key is to show up consistently and let the compounding effect work in your favor. Consistency also builds resilience. Life is unpredictable, and circumstances will not always be perfect. Motivation may fail you, and distractions may tempt you to quit, but consistent action creates a rhythm that carries you forward even when conditions are not ideal. It turns effort into habit, habit into momentum, and momentum into results. People who rely solely on motivation wait for the emotional highs that rarely last. Those who embrace consistency create results that outlast emotion, circumstance, and doubt. Every small step, repeated with intention, reinforces progress, and before long, what once seemed impossible becomes achievable. The beauty of consistency is that it multiplies over time. It does not require extraordinary talent or sudden inspiration. It requires a commitment to show up, to act intentionally, and to honor your long-term vision through daily effort. Small, repeated actions accumulate, shape your life, and produce results that motivate themselves. The people who achieve greatness are not the most motivated. They are the most consistent. They understand that consistency beats motivation every single time, and that lasting success is built, not wished for. The truth is, extraordinary results are never born from fleeting inspiration or occasional effort. They are built day by day through habits that most people ignore, by focusing on what matters, protecting your energy, reflecting on your actions, leveraging your time, and showing up consistently. Every choice you make, every action you take, compounds over time. You have the power to decide whether you remain stuck in busyness and distraction, or whether you step into a life where your efforts truly matter. The habits you adopt today shape the person you will become tomorrow. So, stop waiting for motivation, stop chasing busyness, and start taking deliberate, focused, and consistent actions. Protect your focus, manage your energy, learn from every experience, and trust the compounding power of small steps. Do this, and not only will you achieve more than you ever imagined, but you will also become the person capable of sustaining greatness. Productivity is not a sprint, it is a lifelong practice. Commit to these habits, embrace the process, and watch how your life transforms. Remember, 99% of people ignore these truths, but if you choose to embrace them, you will join the 1% who create extraordinary impact, not just in their work, but in their lives. The question is simple. Will you settle for being busy, or will you commit to being productive? The choice is yours, and the time to start is now.